Hi, thank you for watching my presentation on how to automate a response to a potential phishing email using Cortex XSOAR. We're going to start on the settings, integrations, and instances. And as you can see, there are a lot of different integrations available on XSOAR. However, if you can't find the one you are looking for, you can always go to the marketplace. Use a filter to search it if it's price, category, or use case. Search for an IP integration. Choose the one that you want. Click on install. Go back to settings. And you're going to be able to find it over here in the search bar. To save time, I installed and enabled a couple integrations we're going to use, like the IP info, URL scan, virus total, Gmail single user, and a few others. We're going to start with the Gmail single user. We're going to keep it on do not fetch. I don't want it to put any emails at this point. We're not going to give it any classifier, and we're not going to give it any mapper. Next, we're going to go to object setup, types. You can see different types of incidents over here, like DOS. We're going to look for a phishing incident. We don't want to edit the original one, so we're always going to create a duplicate. I've created one ahead of time and named it Topaz Phishing. Let's go inside. We're going to keep it at this point not to run a playbook automatically. We can change the service level agreement to 3 days. The SOC analyst have 3 days to solve the problem, and we can change the color to the color green. Save. If we go to incident fields now, you can see the different fields associated with different incidents. If we're going to search for a phishing incident, you can see that all fields that are associated with the phishing are going to be associated with the Topaz phishing as well, because I duplicated that. If we go to classification and mapping, again, we don't want to edit the original one, so I made a copy of the classifier. Let's go inside. You can see here on the right, incident types. Let's find the type we created. It's going to be Topaz Phishing. And on the left, you can see different email samples of emails. Let's make sure we're choosing from the right instance, Gmail single user. Now, the reason we want to classify it is because when an incident is triggered, we want to know if it's a phishing incident, if it's a malware, if it's a DOS attack. So based on this classifier, the system XSOAR is going to be able to determine that. So I'm going to pick the subject over here. Go to the curly brackets. I want to add a couple transformers. The reason I'm doing that is because when I'm classifying it, I want XSOAR to know when it sees a certain word in the subject line, it's going to classify it as a phishing email. So I want the first word. It's going to be first array element. Let's add it. And words are separated by a space. So we're going to have to be able to separate those words from the subject line. So we're going to use the split function and add here as delimiter space. Just added a space. Okay, let's go and test it. Now we can see it worked. It separated all of the words from the subject line. But I only want the first one. I only want the potential. To do that, and just switch them around and put split as the first action. Let's test it again. Now we got only the first word, potential. Now we can see it over here, and we're going to have to drag and drop it under the incident type, Topaz Phishing. Save the version and go on to the mapper. The reason we want to use a mapper is because when we use a third-party application, the fields don't always align or name the same. So if we go over here and we choose the incident type we created, Topaz Phishing, and we want to know who the reporter is, who sent that email. Let's search for reporter email. You can see reporter email address. Choose a path. This is how XSOAR calls it. This is how Gmail calls it, from. We're going to click on from. It's going to populate it over here. so it can map the from to our reporter email address. Let's save it. Before we save, I want to show you that I've also mapped the subject line, the same function. Save the version and exit. Now we're going to go to the playbook. Playbook is basically a set of chain reactions. It's been triggered, it's going to ask questions, and it's going to answer them and choose a path based on that and a reaction according to. We want a phishing playbook. Search for phishing over here. I want to choose the phishing core v2. However, I don't want to edit it, so I'm going to create a duplicate. Call it phishing core v2 copy. The incident is going to be triggered when an email comes in. It's going to start processing the email and acknowledging it, sending the reporter an email. Thank you for reporting a suspicious email. We're investigating it. Please do not click any links. It's going to keep going down, try to pull any images from that email, from those links. Then it's going to try to give it a score based on the applications we integrated it with. IP info, URL scan, virus total. It's going to give it a score anywhere between low, medium and high. And at the end, it's going to close it. Now, we can go back to settings, integrations, search for the Gmail integration. Now, we want to start fetching. We want to start getting emails from the reporters. I'm going to choose a classifier. We're going to choose the mapper we created and save it. Next, we're going to go to Object Setup. We're going to go to Types. We're going to go to the phishing type we created. We're going to associate the playbook that we created earlier, core v2 copy. We're going to run it automatically. Let's save. At this point, I'm going to go to another screen, send the malicious email, come back. Let's go to integrations. It's going to take a couple of minutes for the incident to come through. In the meantime, we can go and look at the playbook that finished already. This is the case info. You can see some information up here, but we're going to come back to it shortly. Work plan is where we see the playbook execute. Now again, this happens automatically once the email comes in, because it was classified as a phishing email. It's going to run all of this. It sent an acknowledgement email back. It's trying to pull any images it can. I was able to pull this image. Thank you for signing up for Acme Cloud Services. You can download the invoice over here. This is very suspicious, but we don't know yet if it's malicious or not. I'm going to try to extract any indicators and enrich them using IP info or URL scan, virus total. Based on that, it's going to give it a score. It found that the score is high, meaning it's malicious, and it wants us to remediate it manually. Let's go back over here. We can see that the incident that we just sent was captured. Now if we go inside, you can see again the case info. You can see all of the information up here, screenshots it took. Go down to the report, and some it was unknown. Other stuff, like the domain, it was benign. We found a suspicious URL within the link. and we found some malicious files, URLs, and IPs. We can go to Actions, create a report, and generate a report. It's going to include all of this information, screenshots and everything. We go to the work plan. Playbooks run fairly quickly. I'm going to try to run this playbook again live over here, and you're going to see how it runs through the things. When it's green, it means it's finished and it's done, and you're going to see it jump in between all of those. Okay, because we are using Community Edition, it wants us to manually remediate an incident. I don't have access to the firewall, so I can't block all of those. But you can automate this whole process, and it's going to block the IPs, it's going to block the email, URLs, and it can even reset passwords automatically. For now, let's mark this as complete. Nice. To close the incident, it updated the user that the email is malicious. Thank you for not clicking. Under investigations, we can see the headers of the email. This helps to validate if the email is from the original sender or was tampered with on the way. Up here again in the case info, we can see severity, see some more pictures of here it's been taken, and we can generate a report. If we go to the dashboards, you can see we have only one incident over here. It's high severity. And that's going to be the end of the presentation. Thank you so much.